Hey traders from around the world, how you doing? It's your boy Jeremy Alexander Newsom with Real Life Trading, and it is indeed Wednesday for your midweek real life stock review. Hope you are having a sensational day. Market is very slow right now. I have not taken one day trade today and probably won't. Yesterday was my first really solid day in a while. Got 4.5 R's yesterday. I'll show you those particular trades really quick. Here's Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA, and this was a swing trade analysis that another trader performed on BABA, and my thought was simply that if that trader was trapped, other people would be trapped as well, because it did gap down. It was a bearish gap and go yesterday on BABA. Not a strong one, but a gap and go nonetheless. So my setup was 15 minutes in, saw a nice little white candle, boom, low of the day break, stop above the candle, 2 R's, in and out. There it goes on BABA. Then the other one was HBI, which is really the strong winner. HBI was pretty easy, just a classic bearish retest gap. Gap down, retested, evening star reversal, boom, boom, 2 R's, that's it. Locked and loaded, so that's HBI. So those are the only 2 trades I placed yesterday. As of today, right now, keeping an eye on a few of these. Here's Mattel, ticker symbol MAT. It did have a very, very small gap. Here's the daily chart. A little bit of a bearish retest gap on Mattel. Nvidia also had a little bit of a gap, but into the moving averages. Ticker symbol STZ, Constellation Brands, had a really nice gap. This is the company that makes Corona. Big gap above an all-time high. So as far as a swing trade's concerned, you can watch Corona to kind of come back down, bounce off that all-time high, and potentially bounce. Speaking of doing that, here's Lulu. And that's exactly what I think Lulu is doing, right? Lulu is a retest gap, and I did draw kind of the rotation. I think it would go higher, retrace, and bounce. So obviously the timing isn't exact right now. That's not necessarily the point when I was drawing it. Just kind of saying, hey, this is what I expect it to do, right? White candle, gapping up. If I turn the moving averages off and really zoom out here on Lulu, here's your weekly chart. Kind of weird drawing, but you'll see that the giant triangle, right? There's the huge triangle in Lulu. We broke out of it, in my opinion. So I think a little bit of a retest and a breakout would be a retest of the breakout would be the most likely scenario. So just kind of keep that in mind. Here's Ulta Salons, ULTA, and Ulta. The same thing about a month ago. We talked about that being a bullish retest gap, and so far it's exactly what happened. White candle, gapped up, retested, and we've traded a little bit higher at this point. This angle, I think, isn't really sustainable, so I think we're going to probably trade a little bit lower and have a little bit of a bounce and probably continue higher. I'm just kind of keeping you in the loop on that one. Pfizer, ticker symbol PFE. Pfizer today, pretty decent gap. There's actually 2 good retest gaps on Pfizer today and yesterday, and both of those are working out okay. Here's the retest gap today on Pfizer. Again, gapped up. Yesterday was a white candle. Here's your pennant pattern, and it broke out of that bullish right there. Stop could have been approximately there. I didn't take Pfizer. I haven't taken any day trades today yet at all. None. Zero. Zilch. So it's a good day to kind of wait and see what's happening. In fact, I'm actually going to go play some golf in about 2 hours with my buddy Sean and my buddy Robert Meek, who's visiting from Dallas. We're going to get some golf action in, so that's always kind of fun. I'm terrible at golf, in case you're wondering. I'm just absolutely wretched. It's not going to be pretty, but it will be fun. So Pfizer had some deals with AGN, as most of you are aware, and AGN yesterday had a really nice gap down. It was a bullish gap and go as far as the candle color is concerned, but a lot of volume came in on AGN. And really kind of my thoughts on gap and goes, if the gap doesn't work or the trade doesn't begin to sell off on a bearish gap and go, then it's actually a little bit of a bullish setup. Now, some of you might remember my Bollinger Band class, how to trade or how to use Bollinger Bands in real life. This is one of those strategies that I talked about in the Bollinger Band class when a stock does gap down, but open with a bullish candle below the bottom band and close with a bullish candle. If that's the case, usually it does end up filling. So that occurred here. So you can see that worked out there well, worked out there well, worked out right here well. So it's not a huge run up, but again, when a stock gaps down and opens in below the bottom band and trades up and closes on a bullish candle, it usually trades up a little bit higher. So that's why I bracket traded AGN as of yesterday. 239.94, breach above that will probably trade into 253, maybe 260 over time. Here's Apple, ticker symbol AAPL, not doing too much, but we did likely anticipate a pullback on Apple. Very expected. You might say, why? We are running right into the long-term moving average. There is the 200 simple moving average on the daily chart, which was in fact our target. And then here is the 100 simple moving average on a weekly. So that little drawing in there, the pink little fuchsia drawing, is kind of my anticipation that we retrace a little bit on Apple and then potentially bounce. Earnings not too far away. A lot of us have a April 110 covered call expiring next Friday on Apple. Here's SPY. The ETF that tracks the Standard & Poor's 500. So I got the 201-200 bull put spread expiring next Friday. So a week and a half away. The spread is right here, 201-200. So it is indeed below the 200 simple moving average on the daily chart. This is a very interesting little pattern that we're getting right here. I don't think this wick is real, by the way, on the SPY. But you have a little bit of a support right about there, short term. And I don't necessarily anticipate that breaking down. But if it does, if that does indeed break, I could see reason for it to trade down a little bit higher. My thought as of yesterday was I thought that we were going to gap down a little bit and trade higher today. I do relatively anticipate us to bounce softly or at least trade sideways from this level. We haven't touched the 20 EMA on the SPY since the 24th of February. Yes, February, that month. So 203.25 is going to be a support. Even if it's just for a day or an hour, we'll bounce a little bit off of that and just kind of slowly just start chilling up here, something like this. And yes, we definitely could get a little bit of a quick flash down. But like we had back here, I think we'll get a little bit of an interaction on the 50 and start kind of bouncing. So again, I'm not calling for the sky to fall anytime soon. It could happen, and if it does, I'll be interested to see what happens on some swing trades that we're in. Here's ticker symbol SC, Santander Consumer, looking for this double bottom to retest. There's the double bottom. There's the volume coming in. So on the double bottom, looking for something like that to occur. Limit buy at 990, stop at 897. GILD did hit our bullish swing trade target yesterday. So for those of you who got a chance to take that trade, great job. Shopify still in that one bullish, and it's just hanging out. So we moved up our stop a little bit. We again have not interacted with the 20 EMA on Shopify since the 25th of February. So at some point that'll probably be the case, then hopefully that'll bounce. But we have increased our stops. We're going to lose very, very small on that one. And then the last trade that we set up yesterday was Zillow. So we were looking for a retest on Zillow to do a limit sell at 21.44 with a stop at 22.78. That was a trade that Steven Jackson was looking at pretty closely. And we missed a pretty solid move by 9 cents on Zillow. So there's not much you can do. I got the analysis right, but just not quite the numbers. That happens sometimes. There's not much you can do about that on that overall trade, but we can recognize the opportunity. Dish, just absolutely destroying Dish right now. Nice little bearish move on DISH, so that's just doing its thing. So as of right now, not a lot that is on my radar at the moment. Not a lot of swing trades. I'm going to be keeping a very, very close eye on American Airlines because I do have a bull put spread on American Airlines, 38.37. In fact, I actually got an iron condor. Got the bear call spread up here. That's a credit spread. So I'm kind of looking for American Airlines to bounce down here. You got 6 bearish candles in a row, and you do have a retest gap. So if anything occurs, I'll end up exiting this bull put spread for a little bit of a loss, and the bear call spread is going to be just fine. So overall, I'll probably escape with a little bit of a profit. But again, you have a retest gap, and you have 6 black candles in a row, and you're coming into a little bit of a support. So I'm not going to freak out yet on American Airlines. There will be a retest coming. Probably could do something like this, and then at that point, I'll end up exiting the spread. And depends on when it happens. I mean, it expires in a week and a half, so I do have time. If you get some bullish candles and then it gaps down or something, I'll unravel if need be. But keeping a very close eye on American Airlines anyway. So other than that, that's really about it. Not a lot going on. Day trading today is pretty thin. Swing trading, not a lot happening, but I got my eyes on a few things. And of course, if you ever have any stock that you want me to check out or you have a question on, let me know anytime. I'm happy to do a review for you for free. That's just how we roll at Real Life Trading. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you Friday. And until then, remember, love life, live life, and trade. See ya.